Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This time we're going to be giving some theory from me. I want to explain everything and why I think Apes will win either way. Why I think we are now trapped in a position where we can't lose and why I think shorts are trapped in a position where they can't win. I'll be explaining all of this as we go through and we'll be looking at the charts to give a bit of background. Now this is all my opinion, some of you are going to like it, some of you will not. Again, it is nothing more than that, just my personal view. Don't take it as anything else, but if you do enjoy it, subscribe please and share it if you can, because I think this is an important message. Now I'm going to try and explain everything and give a reason for it, but we're going to jump straight in now because I don't want to waste any more time. Now what we're looking at here is a graph, clearly. It's a graph of AMC stock, and we're looking at a blue line. Now the blue line is the generalized trend of the S&P. Now we can and probably will bring up some other graphs in a minute, the Russell 2000, the Dow, the Nasdaq 100, all that sort of stuff we can bring up in but a moment. But this is the basis of what we're looking at, right? I think most people would agree, especially in the US economy, the S&P 500 is probably the best way to gauge it. It's your top 500 companies, and it gives a general indication as to where the markets and where the economy is going. Now this graph really becomes interesting when we zoom into the past 5 days, the past month, and really even the past 3 or 6 months. We'll start on the 6 month and work our way out. Now what we're looking at here, especially on the 6 month, again on the 3 month as well, we're looking at the S&P, again that's a blue line over here, going down. This is the generalized trend of that, the S&P going down consistently. So when we see in this line, it shows us that the economy is in a downtrend. It shows us that the markets are in a downtrend. And you see where AMC is, again, come a bit closer into the past 3 months especially. This period over here, really from about this candle, or even a little bit sooner, AMC has been quite flat. You can see that it's not really moved from below this line, and it's been there for some time. Now, in the time that AMC has been flat, what have the generalized markets been doing? They've been continuing to drop. Even in the past month, we are seeing AMC move upwards as the markets move downwards. Now, why can this be the case? How can this even happen if AMC is such a flawed company as we are continuously told? How come on almost all of these charts is AMC beating the market trends, and even at worst is following the market trends? Like say this day here. Yeah, AMC did see a bigger dip, but you'd expect bigger dips and bigger rises anyway, because it's not going to be completely in line with an index of 500 stocks. That's not what you would expect, but you know, the generalized trend is certainly there. But really, you know, come out to the past 3 or 6 months, like I said, and we've seen AMC fall less than the general market. Now, why may this be, and why does it leave shorts trapped? Well, let me explain to you the wider picture of things. This is all clear maybe on, I would say, let's go out to this chart over here, maybe the 1 or 2 year. Now, if you have a look on this chart, what we're seeing is the generalized trend in the markets. For some reason, the line starts to glitch when we go too far out, but you see how things are moving in general. We'll try zoom in for that reason. Now, I'm going to try to see if we can move back a little bit, and then we can see how the markets have been moving. So, you're going to be seeing the markets have clearly been in a downtrend since about February this year. A lot of people thinking that this is going to be a big market crash, definitely possible, and we're certainly on the way down either way, whether you like it or not. So, with the markets continuing to fall, you would expect AMC to fall probably in line with the markets. But this is where the dirty tactics of manipulation have failed those who practice them. Because AMC's price is already down to the mark of $10. That's where we have been down in recent weeks and recent months. So a stock that's gone from $72, I believe it was at the ultimate high, a stock that's gone down from that to where we are now, it doesn't really have much room to go down. To be fair, AMC doesn't even have that much room to go till it hits zero. Now, am I going to say it hits zero? No, I do not think there's any chance of this hitting zero. But theoretically, if we're giving that example, you know, we're closer to zero than we are to the peak of what we saw last year. So do you guys see what I'm trying to say? They've been running AMC down since about this time last year. Now, have a look. Even though it's obviously zoomed in a little bit less and the line looks flat comparatively to what we have seen in spikes with AMC's price, you can see the generalized trend, okay? The markets were not doing poorly, quite flat, a little bit of green here and there, generally moving up other than that, quite flat. So when the markets are not doing too bad, this stock was falling, which was outside of market trends at that time. And it's been falling, falling, falling. Now, when you see AMC really stop falling, when it comes to really its low points, is that a point where the economy, where the markets were not doing too badly at all? We've seen a bit of a dip, but nothing like what we're seeing now. Same thing here, bit of a dip, but it has gotten worse. So you see what I mean? And now AMC is coming up because there isn't that much room to move down. So I think market crash or no market crash, it's not going to affect us as much as it could have done. Now, if they were smart about it, left the price at 70 until, say, I would say February of this year, and then started running it down, they could have ran this sort of offensive against AMC a lot more successfully. But by running it down when the markets are doing well, and then trying to get us to sell when the markets are doing poorly, yet we have already seen that drop, it's not going to be likely that we're going to sell, because we've seen the worst of it. Again, bring it down to $5, that's not too far off where we are right now. If you brought it from 72 to 5, that's quite large. But bringing it down from where it is now, there's only so many articles that you can write, there's only so much you can post about on Twitter and all of that, which is going to try and get people to sell. But we sat through the worst of it, and this was in a time where the markets were doing well. Now, in a time where markets are doing poorly, it looks to be the case that all that we anticipated is coming into fruition. We expected the markets to crash before AMC could run, as we discussed in the case study of Volkswagen about 2008 or 9, I believe it was. That's what happened over there. And you see how this is a negative cycle for the hedge funds. In Volkswagen 2008 or 9, I can't remember the year, it was not really retail investors like it is now. And with it being retail investors, sure, we have more heads, more different people with differing opinions, but that is also something which can work to our advantage, because we have a lot of people who are truly and utterly convicted in this belief that AMC is going to go to the moon. They're going to wait as long as it takes to see that. So I hope you guys get what I'm trying to show you in this video. They've ran this one down when the markets are doing poorly. Well, are doing well rather. They're running it up ever so slightly when the markets are doing awfully. It's outside of trend, and there's not anything really that they can do which is going to scare anybody, because we're down so bad from the ultimate highs. No one's going to sell it based on fear anymore. They will have already done it, and of course they have a lot less ability to manipulate things, in my opinion, because it is going to be getting tight now with the state of the market. Again, I have this article from Sky, not really too significant to this whole story, but it's true. Signs of the worst market for investors in a decade, after Wall Street slips into bear market and Bitcoin crashes. There's not really anywhere safe with this. We're sat in a position after COVID, which is unique, unlike what we have probably ever seen. The global economy, never mind the US, Europe, China, it doesn't matter. The global economy is suffering. Every country is getting it, some worse than others, but there's not really any safe place to go for inflation. There's not really any safe place to go for crashes in the markets. There's not really much that people can do, unfortunately, in this situation. But again, what can be working as a disadvantage to us, generally speaking, could potentially work as an advantage to us holding this stock. Because we see now how the fear's gone, and there's not really anywhere that the hedge funds can run. So that's all I wanted to say for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's been quite long-winded, but we did try and explain it in vast detail. Hope it was useful and informative. Again, if so, smash the like and subscribe. I will be back with you for more stuff later on, but for now, goodbye.